Hi, good day traders. Welcome to Trade City Academy and welcome to Trade City YouTube channel. Now, my name is Prince Wee Jr. and I'm your host as well as your presenter, and I'm also the chief analyst for Trade City Academy. Now, I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If it's the first time, please do well to click on the subscription so that I get notified when new videos are posted. Turn on the notification bell. I need your subscription, guys. You can do this together. Don't forget to click on the subscription button so that you stay on alongside with the channel. Now, hi guys, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little analysis that will actually tell us if the bear market has ended or we are seeing the bear market. Now, also this analysis will also help you, especially for spot traders, to know which coin to buy and why you shouldn't just buy any other coin you see. Now, before I jump into the video, I'm going to take you through to history, what happened, and I'm going to be explaining. So sit tight and welcome to the channel once again. So let's get to business, guys. Let's get to business. Now, sometime in April, let me remove my analysis quickly. Sometimes in April, everybody was happy. And why was everybody happy? Because everything was just going up. I think it started December, November, up to November, December, then to March, as well as April. Unfortunately, few persons never knew that April was going to be the end of the bull run. So many persons were caught unaware. So let's go back to our chart. This is my BTC USDT chart. And if you notice, this red candle was in April. So I'm going to be taking it as the highest point BTC price got to. Let me zoom in so that you see. Let me zoom in. So this is me zooming in. This is the candle, and the candle was formed on the 12th of April. That was the highest point BTC price got to. Now, what happened? BTC dumped to as low as 28,000. That's this point. So I'm going to be choosing 28,000 as the lowest point BTC got to. Okay, now the value might not be exact, but at least it should be within the range. Now, quickly, before I go ahead to explain what happened, I need the beginners to know something. Now, there are majorly two types of coins we have. We have Bitcoin and we have altcoins. Now, Bitcoin is the father coin. That's what we call Bitcoin dominance. Now, apart from Bitcoin, any other coin you're trading is called an alternative coin. So you must pay attention to what Bitcoin does. Is it bleeding? Is it going up? Is it dumping? Because Bitcoin determines the crypto market. It is very unfair on a lot of traders, but that's just the way the game is. You have to see trading as a game. So that's just the way the game is. So you have to play alongside to the game and try to play successfully and profitably. And in Trade City Academy, we try to give you profitable trading signals as well as analysis. Now, since the dump, spot traders were at in loss. Many persons sold off their coin because they were not making money. I have a few persons held, but future traders made money even when the market was coming down as well as when the market was going up. Now, if you cannot trade futures, please do not go and take it. Now, if you need signals, I also supply signals too. You can also chat me up on WhatsApp and I will do justice to that by adding you to the group. It's a VIP group too. So people who trade futures were actually making money since the dump, while people who trade sports were losing money since the dump. Now let's come back to my analysis and why we are here today. So this is chart. This was the highest point BTC got to. It was the lowest point BTC got to. So I'm going to be writing peak. That's the highest point BTC got to. That's BTC peak. So I'm going to be writing dump here. So this was dump. That was the lowest point it got to. So this was BTC pump and dump. So this was our dump. I'm going to change this to pump so it will look very okay. So this is pump and this is dump. Okay, this is it. Let's go back. So let's consider this. I pick my price range. I try to check the percentage difference from the highest point BTC got to, which is where my cursor currently is. I click on it, I bring it down to the lowest point it got to, which was 28,000. So this point, the values, the ranges, I'm going to work with it. So if you notice, BTC dumped by 56%. So BTC dumped by 56%. So you write 56%. That was the BTC dump. Good. Let's go back again. Now, after I got to this particular point, we've noticed that price has started going back up, going back up. So let's see if we've actually really gone back up to the point where we can say the bull run is back. Now, if you notice, BTC has gone up by 32%. If you notice, BTC has gone up by 32%. So do the math. It's a very simple mathematics that will help us determine what we should be expecting. Now, if you look at it, we have 56% minus 32%. That's to say BTC has done 24% difference. So the difference is 24%. Now, another quick thing you can also use is, okay, looking at it, 56 divided by 2. If you do 56 divided by 2, that will give you 28. And BTC has done 32%. That's to say it has done over 50% of the previous dip, which is a good sign. But however, you don't just quickly conclude and say the bull run is back. Don't just quickly conclude and say the bull run is back. We still need to wait. The month of August will determine if the bull run is pretty back or we're just seeing a possible fake out. So we still have to be patient. However, the price have gone significantly better than where it was before. Now, looking at this, there might be a bit of a test down to about 36 if price doesn't hold this particular position. And if it goes up, then we should be looking at least 47 to 48,000 range of BTC at the moment. Now, when you've done this, if you notice, BTC done by 56%, and it has risen so far by 32%. That's a good sign. Also, we are anticipating that the bull run should be coming back. But like I said, you don't just jump and buy. You have to wait unless you're buying for long-term holding. So you have to wait till the month of August. This month of August, there are a lot of persons are looking at it because it will determine what will happen in the following months. So that is that for this. So let's also consider other coin too. Let's go over to BNB. That's a Binance coin. So if you look at the Binance coin, okay, this is what we have here. This is a Binance coin. So I'm going to remove this, also remove this. Now, if you notice too, the Binance coin got up to 600 and this 673 or 700. That's this range. That's here. So let me choose 700. Let me go with 693. That was the point it got to. Now, when it dumped to 209. So let me also remove this for better explanation. Now, when it dumped to about 213 or so. Okay, let me choose 210. So it dumped to 210, which is this. I'll pick my horizontal line. This was the highest point it dumped to. So I am going to choose, click it, 213, but I'm trying to move it to 210. Well, let me leave it there. I know it dropped more than that, but let's just leave it there so that we can use it to explain our chart. Okay, let me leave it like that. Now, I also pick my price range and I will check the drop. If you notice at the drop, BNB dropped by 69%, approximately 70%. BNB dropped by 69%, approximately 70%. But BTC dropped by 56%. Look at the difference. The DOM brought BTC down to about 56%, but it took BNB about 69%. That's to say that the DOM was higher or weightier in BNB than in BTC. Now let's go back to my price chart again and see how far BNB has gone. So BNB got to, let me pick 247. Let me choose there. And then we had this. Let me see from then. Yeah. Now, if you notice, BNB has done 38%. So BNB has done 38%, while the DOM was 69%. So let's also do the mathematics. Let's also do the mathematics together. So you're going to be doing it. If you notice, BNB jumped by 69%. So I'm going to do 69% minus 38%. That is 31%. So if you notice, BNB has recovered from when you're doing the highest and the lowest point you got to where we have 31% difference, while BTC gave us 24% difference. So if you also do the comparison too, BTC has 24% left, BNB had 31% left. So BTC is recovering faster than BNB. Let's also go back to other coins too. Let me use Alice, my neighbor. Let me use Alice, my neighbor. Now this is Alice, our neighbor. So Alice was listed on Binance at about 60. That was the listing price. It dropped down here, then went back up. So I'm going to be taking this point as the all-time high, not 60, because this is the listing price. Obviously, price should drop. So this becomes our all-time high, and that's 20. So I dropped my horizontal line there, and also this was the lowest point it got to, and that's about 3.1. So I'll pick my price range too, and I will click to check the lowest point. That's the drop. If you notice, Alice dropped by 83%. Wow, that was high compared to BNB and BTC. 83%. Wow. Now let's also consider how far Alice has been able to recover from the dump down here. And I'm seeing something very, very significant. So I'll pick my price range again, and I'll also pick it. This was what the highest point Alice has gotten to. Then I will bring it down here, and Alice has recovered by 80%. It's no magic. Alice has recovered by 80%. So if you do 83 minus 80, we have 3% left. That is to say, those who bought Alice at the G have already recovered their money. Now, those who had Alice when it was 20 must have recovered almost 80% of their initial capital compared to those who were holding other coins. Now, the last thing I'm going to be explaining, the last coin is the Uniswap as against USDT. I'm going to also use this to explain this before I will call it a wrap. So this was the highest point Uniswap got to 46, and this was the lowest point it dropped to 13. Now let's also pick my price range, and I'm going to choose from 45 down to this point. That was what 70% drop. If you notice, that was not the same way Alice dropped too. Now let's also consider the recovery. This has been the recovery. This has been the recovery. If you notice, this indecision candle is higher than this one. So I'm going to pick it. I'm going to pick it, and I will drop it here. So if you look at it, Uni has recovered by 45%. So also do the mathematics, 45 minus 70. So if you do 70 minus 45, you should have 25%. So you notice Uniswap has recovered more. It's almost the same way BTC has recovered. BTC was 24, Uniswap is 25. BNB was about 30, 32 or so, as well as Alice was 80%. So if you notice, the recovery rate differs with different coins. So as a successful trader, what you should be looking at before you go ahead to buy or hold any coins, how far will this coin recover? And how far will this coin dump if it's dumping? Now, if you notice, BTC is the number one coin, so there will always be BTC dominant. So in all your holdings, hold BTC. Now, the Binance coin is a very wonderful coin. It's one of the coins that made a lot of persons millionaires in the previous month. It's also one of my favorite coins, and I'm holding it as well. It's also a good point, a good coin to hold. But if you notice the drop from this analysis, it dropped drastically, and the recovery has not been equal to other coins recovery. The same thing applies with Uniswap. Now, if you notice Uniswap drop, but it has recovered faster. Now, if you notice, the last one I did was Alice, my neighbor. It dropped, but it has recovered almost perfectly well. So if you notice, people who heard Alice, my neighbor, should not be complaining of the dip again. So if you notice, people who heard Alice, my neighbor, must have recovered their money, while others are still waiting for the market to go back up. So let me go back to BTC again and quickly tell you if we should be expecting a bear or a bull market. So looking at this, what we should be expecting is I am beginning to see signs, but I will not going to be saying that in this video. They are still subject to confirmation. We've started seeing signs like a lot of traders, but we will not be quick to conclude. So the advice is wait for the month of August. The month of August will determine if the bull run is back or we should be expecting further dip. Now, any other dip apart from this one will take us down to this particular point, which will be what? It will be very brutal for the market. That's the 19 to 20,000 region. So what you should be expecting is we are anticipating that price will continue to go up to this point and maybe a bit of retracement down here and maybe a move up. This is what everybody wants to see. In the other direction, we can also see this reverse down here, a possible pullback here, and then what people don't want to see, we get to see it, and which is here. So please and please, what you need to do is stay focused. Two things might play out is either we go back to the bullish trend or we might come back to another bearish season. But the signs are bullish for the now. So what you need to do is don't be quick to act. If you're buying any of these points, ensure that your target is long-term holding. If you're trading futures, do a lot of scalping now till BTC stabilize. On the weekly time frame, I am seeing a very good sign here, which is good. After the retracement, we should accept it. We should expect price to go back up. But please, in your trading, stay profitable. So the bull run might start anytime soon. The bear run might end anytime soon. But the month of August will be a big determining factor if the bull run will start or the bear run will still consider. Because if you look at the drop and the recovery rate, it's dropped by 56%, and it has been able to recover 32% so far. So thank you once again, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification button, and stay notified when new videos are dropped. For one-on-one training, analysis, as well as signals, you can join the group in the description, and I would like to talk to you personally. So thank you once again. Thank you.